Oh.
I try not to hide any of my mess ups. We're all human. I went to go glue this down and I got ahead of myself. What I should have done, and I told myself I would do, is I was gonna glue down the center part and start from the center and work my way out. There's these little flaps here that are on one side, or on both sides, that suck this portion down here and here. And I threaded it through and I wasn't thinking, and I just started, I got them through and I just started gluing up this side and then working everything this way. Well, at first it was fine. Now you can see it's all wrinkly and everything is just it's all shrunk up. And it's from me pulling this and not laying it down. And when I was pulling it, what ended up happening is this seam here didn't stay where it was supposed to be because I was pulling everything, and it kind of shifted everything slightly over. Then when you have that pull, everything wants to shrink back up, and that's where you get these wrinkles from. Now this is glued in. I'm really hoping I can steam it out and release the glue and then lay it back down. Might be a little too late, who knows, but we're not gonna leave this. This is not a final product. Now, brings me to the next part. Because this seam had been pulled over that way, this didn't fully line up as well as it should have. And I glue up this center part. I like pull it and I line the seam up and everything. I'm like, okay, everything's looking okay, everything's looking okay. And I line up this seam, I get this done. It's looking good. But I was pulling too much one direction, or pulling this direction. And ended up putting the seam lower than it should have been. Not thinking about it, and then gluing up this side, and noticing when this goes into its little crevice here, it was just super squished in there and there was just wrinkles galore. It was bad. It looked horrible. I was like, well, I just got done gluing it. The glue should still be tacky. So I go to peel it up. And I peel it up, and to be expected, little bits peeled off. But then I was like, all right, well, I'll just try to reline this seam edge that from the old vinyl to this new one. And trying that, I was just getting horrible wrinkling going on in here. So I was like, oh, maybe I need to pull up the rest of it. And I started to do that. And I peeled up the foam in here, and it just looks absolutely horrible. One of my game plans is either to peel it completely all off, center this up to the center of this, and then do what I was supposed to do in the first place. That seems like a logical idea, but I'm apprehensive because it peels. This glue is too good. Well, I shouldn't say too good, but it's really good glue. It's the Super 77. And it just peeled up all this foam, and it's really a bummer. It kind of bums me out on this. An idea I have is to come over here and try to peel this up and just use steam on the outside and inside here and just really steam and try to release this glue and just work my way back out. And once I can get to the center and all this is peeled off, then we're gonna start back over and do it the correct way. I got the seat cover removed, and you can see all the stuff that kind of stuck to it, a little bit of foam. Not too much, it didn't tear it up as bad as this side did. This didn't get sealed down as well as all the other places. This part here touched right away, and whew, that Super 77 really does work when it comes to fabric and foam. This next seat here is gonna be the next one I glued. This is the backrest to that seat. I'm gonna start in the center here and work my way to the seam. Once I get to that seam, then I'm gonna work my way down, and then I'm just gonna work in sections all the way till I get to the end. My issue with that seat over there I'd done is I glued this whole portion and laid it down and lined the seams up. Well, I tried to. I kind of got out of hand, and it really just was not good. But these are lessons learned. This is what it's all about. So I have this laid out where I want it to be. I'm gonna just bring this over, and I see I have the seams matching where the old imprint is to where the new one's at. The other part I did was I made sure that when this rolls over, that this seam here meets that seam, these seams meet there, that one rolls into there, and just how everything just matches up. Right now, I'm trying to remove this piece. I see that inside there, that piece has two little flanges on it, and it needs to be squeezed together and pushed out. Now, it's a lot easier said than done, so I thought, well, I'll just take this piece off. I undid these three 8mm bolts, and then I see there's these three screw heads. Well, I go to spin them, and they're just spinning and spinning and spinning, thinking, oh, well, it's old wood, maybe it's stripped. You know, the wood in there is rotted out and it's stripped. Nope, come to find out, there's actually a nut on the other side of each one of these bolts. The nut is glued inside there. Now, I have access to this one, but these two, it's gonna involve really pulling everything back. Not ideal. just to take this off. So I'm gonna keep fighting and trying to stick screwdrivers in both sides and pushing. The issue is I feel like I need 3 or 4 hands and I only got 2. And if I'm gonna hold this camera, I really only got 1. So that's kind of my issue now, is I just need to get this dang piece out. Because once it's out, I can draw the hole, pop the hole for the seat cover, and then push that piece back in and just kind of lock everything down. And I would love to leave this plate as is.
Thank you.